So it appears Guilty Gear is going to be bringing some tension to Universus. We've had the game design teaser drop, so I'm taking a break from my hiatus to come talk about Guilty Gear, the new mechanic being introduced, and to take a look at the first attuned cards of Guilty Gear. So it looks like we're getting a set more similar to Critical Role Heroes of Exandria, that we're going to have some attuned and some non-attuned cards, which is an aspect I absolutely love. Adding more restrictions to deck building, making people have to think a lot more and have to make these decisions that will impact their deck structure is absolutely solid. And seeing some cards that have attuned on them and seeing some cards that don't is very good, and we'll add that on there. So let's get into Guilty Gear Strive and this article talking about what it's going to be bringing to the game. So, Guilty Gear Strive's core features are that it's going to be a much smaller set in comparison to other sets, and this is why it's a bullets box. It's going to be 85 cards, so I can't imagine we're going to be seeing too many characters. My personal theory is that the characters are going to be about 8 or 9 characters, given that the cell sheets were talking about the pearlescent alter arts. And generally, we see those on URs or characters. So I'm going to go with characters for now. So 8 or 9 characters is a good number to have in an 85 card set. Monumentally smaller than what we saw with Attack on Titan Battle for Humanity, which was over 300 cards. We now know the symbols we're going to be getting in Guilty Gear. We got air, all, chaos, earth, fire, order, void, and water. So it looks like we're seeing life and death continue their break here, as well as good and evil going back on to sleep. It's a shame good and evil is one of the most under-supported symbols, but it's great to see that void water still getting that beautiful support. Now, the biggest change coming in is with the Roman Cancel cards. We're getting tokens. So these are cards that are not in your starting deck, they're not in your sideboard. These are cards that you will create through play. How do we create these tokens? With the brand new mechanic of tension. So tension is a blitz speed keyword, which allows you to add 1 Roman Cancel token to your momentum. This is a very interesting aspect, and because of how we adapt IPs, Guilty Gear fans are going to absolutely love this. And for Guilty Gear fans, you guys are eating well. Guilty Gear has a tension gauge throughout the actual game, and that tension gauge has kind of been brought into the game. You can have multiple copies of Roman Cancels coming in, and you're able to build up this gauge of momentum quite quickly with the more tension cards you play. And it appears that the senior designer of this set decided to go with a token aspect, giving us our first ever token. And it just allows for more flexible resources and gives better choices to players. The Roman Cancel, so this will be a card that's in your momentum, very hard to interact. There's not much momentum hate, similar to backup hate and stuff like that. We don't really have that much that just forces your opponent to spend momentum. And it comes with 4 abilities. The Roman Cancel gets removed at the beginning of your turn, and then you may only play 1 named ability each turn. This is very important. Unlike foundations that say once per turn or attacks that say once per turn, if you play multiple of them, you can do each of them once per turn. You can only use each of these 4 abilities once each turn, regardless of how many you have. So we have red, purple, yellow, and blue to follow in with the Roman Cancel mechanic of Guilty Gear. Red is an enhance that allows you to remove the Roman Cancel to change the zone of the attack. Purple is a response that allows you to remove, spend 1 momentum, and then after your blocked attack resolves, clear it from your card pool. Yellow gives you remove, spend 1 momentum. Before you take damage from an unblocked attack, change that block's damage to 3. And blue form, remove freeze 1 rival foundation. So if you can get 4 Roman Cancels out, it means that you have access to all 4 abilities. 3 of which are designed for your turn, 1 of which is designed for your opponent's turn. So choosing how to use your Roman cancel is very important, and the fact that you can combine Roman cancel with, say, deflect to change an attack's damage to 3, and then just take no damage or take an even more reduced amount of damage. Very important. This can help keep you alive. It's very complicated. For what it is, for me, it's too complicated. I've had to read all this a few times, and yeah, I get it's thematic. I get it's part of the IP. I understand that. Don't get me wrong, but to me, the mechanics that you're getting from Roman Cancel are not as important as the fact it's just free momentum. So let's take a look at the cards we got here. We got, what could this be? A 4 difficulty, 2 mid, 4 damage, tension, blitz on chaos. Very important that we know that chaos is a tuning set. Blitz. So depending on what you check, it depends on what ability you get. If you check an attack, it gets 2 speed. If you check a foundation, it gets 2 damage. If you check any other card types at the moment, that would be asset or backup or action, you would get to draw a card. As more card types come in, you still get to draw your cards. Then we've got Behemoth Typhoon, which rewards you for playing it late or for checking badly. After you commit 3 or more foundations to pass this check, your rival commits 2 foundations. And both of these give you momentum. We can see here that we have on here. Throw Servant, Tension, Ally Ranged. Not a throw, which makes me kind of... If you have another ally card in your camp, will draw a card, Tension. So every one of these attacks so far is giving tension. But this is the one that got me the most. Spatula. Spatula at 5 difficulty, 4 high, 5 damage, tension blitz. If you have 2 momentum, this attack gets 3 damage. So, as we've seen here, 3 of these cards have shared symbols with Godzilla. But this is one that immediately causes issues for me with Godzilla. Because the big lizard boy gets to go, cool, I'll play this attack. If they already have momentum, they go, cool, I'll play this attack, get another momentum, which means I'm going to be able to give 2 plus 2 to my next check. And this is a 4 high for 11. Very, very powerful. In terms of Roman Cancel itself, we've known about this for a while from the summit. It's a very interesting mechanic. I just think it's a bit overcomplicated, and the reward for the complication isn't there to me. It's boring. Changing my zone of attack. The amount that I have to spend to clear 1 card and draw a card, there are cards that do this better. Spend momentum. So I'm losing 2 momentum to reduce this attack's damage down to 3. When you've got things like Referee Jury that make it 4. When I've got things like Dragon's Fortitude, which allow me to spend this to reduce attack's damage by 3. And then you got the blue form, remove freeze one Mario Foundation. Freeze isn't that impactful. Blue is definitely the weakest of the 4 here. To me, it just, at the moment, I'm not enticed by this. I don't find it overly interesting. I don't find it doesn't spark creativity. The free momentum does spark creativity, and that's where I'm worried. The free momentum sparking creativity. I mean, that is because when you combine that with what we've already got in the set, it's very powerful. Being able to drop these attacks, now have momentum, is very solid. Especially if we then take that and we combine it with characters like Annie 2, who has similar effects to Godzilla, which allows you to use momentum to increase your check, increase damage, and just outright get to punch and say, I get to kill you sooner now. When you take it into account with things like Jester Laveau, who basically goes, oh yes, I'm going to take away your Roman Cancel, give myself momentum. Oh, now I can also actually chuck that attack in there, get this momentum that's designed to disappear, and then go pick up a spell. I'm increasing my hand size and I've lost nothing. And I can also still have my other in hands to get myself momentum without forcing you to spend anything yet. You have not the Brave 2, who has increased damage based on momentum. You have Amajiki, who does the similar thing, increasing your damage once per turn and decreasing your opponent's damage once per turn based on how many momentum you have. So being able to play these tension attacks and just get out this momentum. The Chaos symbol was already very good at cheating out momentum. Throwing out two other symbols to Godzilla on Water and Earth that also get you cheat out momentum is absolutely insane. There are some characters like Sasha and June and Falco and Connie too that will absolutely love to get this and will make them a lot more playable. But it's also going to take characters like Godzilla, who are already on the forefront of the meta. They showed up at Spain, they showed up in Australia, and they did very well. They're one of the most. It's one of the most It's one of the most represented characters in the meta, and now we're just going to be making them stronger. They're going to be harder to deal with because they're going to be able to kill you so much sooner. I'm very excited to see what the rest of Guilty Gear is going to be. This is an IP I know very little on. I'm very excited to see how Roman Council will work in terms of the rest of the set. If there's going to be any more synergies, if there's going to be any more interactions with Guilty Gear, with characters, with attacks that say, oh, if you've used a red Roman Council, get this. Or if you've got a Roman Council, you get this. And ways to interact with Roman Council directly. But at the minute, I'm underwhelmed. Roman Council has been one I was aware of for a while, and my biggest issue with it was the fact that you could spend it like regular momentum, being able to echo turn one, being able to powerful EX, being able to use Godzilla and Annie very early is a very dangerous place to be. And this is what I told UVS at the summit, and I was initially told you weren't going to be able to spend it like regular momentum. Turns out that was incorrect, and after some clarification, we knew it was going to be coming, and this is my biggest gripe with it. In terms of an ability, it's cute, it's underwhelming. I do not find it interesting. If you find it interesting, please let me know in the comments below why this is drawn to you, how you like. If you're a Guilty Gear fan, let me know if you feel this is an accurate adaptation of Roman Council Intention and how a tension gauge in a card game could work if you're not happy with it. Other than that, I'm still working on my setup. As you can see, I'm still in my temporary setup. The audio isn't going to be the best. I'm looking forward to getting it all sorted out, coming back, making a lot more content, got a lot of stuff in the works. But let me know, how do you guys feel about Roman Council? How you guys feel about Guilty Gear so far? These attacks look really good. Having these tension abilities, having this way to go. I'm just really worried to see how this is going to interact with things like Drive, which allows you to just spend momentum to get the abilities. You're not losing resources. This is creating additional resources. So Strive, Godzilla, it's all out there. Let me know. I will catch you all next time. Hopefully my content will get a bit more polished. I've taken a long time off, so I'm very rusty. But for now, this has been Brett with UKVersus, bringing you theories, news, or more. Win, lose, or draw. I will catch you all next time. Bye.